going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign of what's going to happen to these other workers moving forward.
Inability and unwillingness to deal with market manipulation. It's not just what's happened in the last couple of weeks. Let me take an example. The example around stock buybacks. We all understood what stock buybacks are about. They're about companies buying back their own stock so they can inflate the price of that stock. That's just the economics of what happens. And it was market manipulation up through the 1980s when the Reagan era SEC said, well, really not so much. And so what happens now is companies routinely manipulate their own stock.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, this is just a video just to make you think. As we see, the stock market keeps pumping and dumping. I advised you yesterday that the China markets were down, and of course, we were down also. If you pay attention to the actual news articles, the Hegelian dialectic is going on. Some people are saying the party is still going on, but the people that matter say that the game is over. But we all know this happens the first quarter of every year. I can't say this enough. We will have a 10% correction. That's not big. Remember, this is not the big one, but we will get a 10% correction this quarter. Get yourselves prepared so therefore you can enter. Now, I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. But of course, guys, I gave you the stocks like cannabis. Those stocks, of course, you can hold for the long term. But definitely you will have an opportunity to get some of these EV stocks, these solar stocks. You're going to be able to get these stocks at a lower price because what? We know those stocks are going to make it. Now, a lot of these EV stocks are not going to make it, period, anyway. You have to make sure you're doing your research to find out who's connected with who, because we know in the EV space is new. So what happens in a new space? First, it gets funded. Second, we have a consolidation. Also, those fall by the wayside. And then, of course, we have the big boom. So right now, we're in the phase where they're funding. Next is going to be consolidation, because you know it's only going to be a handful of EV stocks that are going to make it, but they're going to be attached to the big companies. These big corporations have been around forever, guys. Ford, GM, they're not going anywhere. Now, when it comes to the emerging markets, you have to do your due diligence, see who's connected to who. Of course, I'm going to be doing a video on that solely about emerging markets once we get this correction. So therefore, we can get in and make money. But definitely, guys, we are at this point. We see the market pumping and dumping. We see cryptos always pumping and dumping. But you're starting to see with the GameStop situation, they're trying to get rid of this legacy market and move us over to DeFi, blockchain, tokenization. That's all they're trying to do, guys. I know if you're new to crypto or that's all you deal with is legacy markets, you're not going to understand it. Please go check out my main channel, Crypto Teacher, so therefore you can learn. But a lot of these stocks are already being tokenized on FTX. So just like I said, guys, please go check out my Crypto Teacher channel. I did mention FTX in my video that I did today. Please go check that out. And remember, guys, when it comes to the New World Order, everything is planned out. Enjoy the rest of the video.
stocks, while they've run quite a bit, will begin to be supported by earnings as we go into 2021. So there's a lot to be optimistic about. There's still a lot of uncertainty. I think we get our sell-off in the first quarter when we start to transition to the new Biden administration, and not for political reasons, but just because it's always been thus, that when you get a change in the White House, stocks kind of recalibrate. So I think we're ending out the year with the Santa Claus rally, yay for stimulus, and then we'll begin to see some sort of correction in the first quarter.
We've been talking about this for a while now, Scott. When are we going to see this pullback that everybody seems to be talking about, including myself, after we've had this run? It was just a couple of days ago where we were still hitting all-time highs. So we've had this incredible run to the upside. Everybody's looking for some sort of a pullback, and maybe that's part of the problem. But which ones specifically that I need to lighten up on? I still like these stocks. I'm just wondering which ones might have the most pullback potential because of maybe the markets getting sold off like I would expect, which would be somewhere between a 5 and a 10% maybe pullback. So if we do see something like that, I want to be prepared.
Things, to some extent, are a source of funds. They become the virtual money market fund from which traders can get assets quickly. So I think they suffered this week, despite their good earnings, from liquidity pulls in order to cover the shorts.
Oh, you think that?
And, we don't have enough evidence.
But you think that's why, like, let's say an Apple absolutely knocks the cover off the ball with their earnings, right? The most profitable quarter ever. Facebook does the same for the most part. And then those stocks have traded down.
Right.
On the week, both are negative for the week. So you're suggesting there was a direct correlation to what we were witnessing with GameStop and how some of those other names have traded.
I think it's possible. I mean, I don't know that. But if you're looking at stocks that a few months ago were 25% of the S&P, I mean, there's still an enormous weight. Apple is up, at 7+% of the S&P. So it makes sense to me that if you need something to cover, you just sell a few shares of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. There's the way you cover it. That's where you get the $2 billion fast. So I was very pleased with those earnings. We thought that they were excellent.
Now, guys, if you listen closely to the last clip of Karen Firestone, she explained the manipulation so wonderful. Now, Apple had incredible numbers, but what happened to the stock, guys? That's right, it went down. So like she stated, what they did was they sold those stocks, Microsoft, Apple, who came in with wonderful numbers, and to cover the actual shorts. So guys, it's all manipulation. It's always been manipulation, and it will never stop. Now, when the fourth industrial revolution come in, it's going to get worse because it's all going to be tokenized on blockchain ran by AI. Nothing but algorithms. Society 5.0 is right around the corner. Y'all have a wonderful day.